Hey, Cowboys Nation! Welcome back to the channel, where we give you the inside scoop on everything Dallas Cowboys. Right now, we're facing some tough times, and the team knows they've got work to do. But they're not giving up, they're pushing to get better and turn things around. Before we jump into this exclusive update, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get those notifications on so you never miss out on any breaking Cowboys news. Alright, let's get into it. As we head into the second half of the season, Jerry Jones has hinted at some possible changes for the Cowboys. After a 3-5 start, it's been a tougher season than anyone anticipated. Jones initially banked on the continuity of this team, the same players and coaching staff returning to build on their recent 12-5 seasons. But with this rough start, he's now eyeing the trade deadline as a chance to bring in fresh talent and keep the team's playoff hopes alive. In a recent interview following the tough loss to the Atlanta Falcons, Jones revealed that the Cowboys have some things in the mix. Now, these comments have fans speculating about potential trades, and Jones didn't hold back, confirming that Dallas will likely act as a buyer ahead of the Tuesday deadline. "We'll probably do a couple things this week," he stated, reassuring fans that he's far from giving up on this season. He still believes in the potential of this team, and now it's about making those necessary changes to give the Cowboys a fighting chance in the NFC playoff race. Let's talk about why the Cowboys might be considering trades in the first place. The Cowboys have a big need for depth on defense, especially with recent injuries to some key players along the edge. We've all seen how the defensive struggles have left this team constantly trying to catch up in games. A strong defensive addition could help stabilize that side of the ball, allowing the offense a better chance to execute and put points on the board without the pressure of a huge deficit. But the offensive side could also use some reinforcements. The inconsistency has been glaring, especially with a banged-up offensive line and a lack of separation from the receiving core. Jones has over $21 million in cap space to work with, so there's room to make moves that could help boost both offense and defense. A rental player, someone who can come in immediately and make an impact, seems within reach, especially considering Jones's comments that multiple moves are on the table. Let's dive into the latest game against the Falcons because it was a critical point in the season. Heading into this matchup, Dallas needed a win to get back on track. But things didn't go as planned, and it turned into a tough, physical game that left us with more than just a loss. Both Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb came out of this game with injuries, putting their availability for the coming weeks in doubt. Prescott was officially ruled out with a hamstring injury, but he also suffered a cut on his throwing hand that required medical attention. Lamb, on the other hand, hurt his shoulder yet refused to stay down, insisting on finishing the game. Both players battled through, but with these injuries, the team is facing an even bigger uphill battle. If Prescott or Lamb miss any time, it could spell the end of Dallas's already slim playoff hopes. The game itself was a roller coaster of missed opportunities, poor decisions, and frustrating execution. It started off promising when the defense forced a punt on Atlanta's opening drive. Prescott then led the Cowboys down the field, completing all 5 of his passes, only for the drive to stall out in field goal range. The Falcons quickly countered with a touchdown drive of their own, taking a 7-3 lead. Then, a key moment. Carl Lawson forced a strip sack, and Donovan Wilson recovered the ball. But just as it seemed Dallas could capitalize, a miscommunication between the offensive line left Rico Dowdle with nowhere to go on third down. On fourth down, a missed block allowed the Falcons to shut down a potential big play from CeeDee Lamb on a jet sweep. That sequence summed up the Cowboys' season so far, just one block away from a game-changing play but coming up short. And it didn't stop there. More errors followed, with the defense allowing Kirk Cousins to complete a quick pass to Kyle Pitts, who broke multiple tackles to turn a short gain into a significant first down. Trayvon Diggs attempted to bring him down with a hit instead of wrapping up, allowing Pitts to pick up additional yards and set up an eventual Falcons touchdown. These moments of missed execution, failure to pay attention to detail, and lack of discipline have cost the Cowboys time and time again this season. In a way, this game was a perfect snapshot of all the issues Dallas has faced, with one small mistake leading to larger problems that snowball into game-changing consequences. Just before halftime, it seemed like the Cowboys had a chance to turn things around. The offense was marching down the field, and Prescott found Rico Dowdle for a juggling touchdown catch. The Falcons then punted, giving Dallas a golden opportunity to score again before halftime. If they could have scored before the break and again at the start of the third quarter, the Cowboys could have taken control of the game. However, it didn't go as planned. A tough hit on Lamb left him slow to get up, and his refusal to come off the field ended up costing the team precious seconds. Instead of having time to attempt a field goal, they came away empty-handed. And after the break, Dallas attempted a risky fake punt, which fell incomplete, giving Atlanta excellent field position. The Falcons quickly scored, stretching their lead and putting the Cowboys in a hole they couldn't climb out of. The game took a final turn when Prescott suffered his injuries. As Prescott went down, it became clear that the Cowboys' struggles would only worsen. Cooper Rush stepped in and led the team to a touchdown, but it was too little, too late. Lamb also continued to play through pain, but it was obvious he wasn't at 100%. Despite a late push, the Cowboys came up short, dropping their record to 3-5 and leaving their season hanging in the balance. Let's face it, the Cowboys' offense has had its fair share of struggles this season. After a brutal 47-9 loss to the Detroit Lions just 2 weeks ago, the team is trying new approaches to get back on track. We all know coach Mike McCarthy has been under fire, especially after Jerry Jones expressed some doubts about the play calling. It looks like McCarthy took that criticism to heart and decided to throw a curveball against the Falcons, aiming to catch them off guard with a trick play on special teams. Dallas needs to get creative on offense. The usual routes and plays aren't getting the job done, so McCarthy is looking for ways to inject some life and unpredictability. But in this case, his strategy didn't quite hit the mark. Let's dig into what happened on that 4th-and-2 play and why fans have mixed feelings about it. Now, here's where things got interesting, or, depending on your perspective, frustrating. It was a 4th-and-2 situation, and instead of opting for a conventional punt, McCarthy lined up for what looked like a regular play. But this was all a setup to fool the Falcons. The ball was snapped to punter Brian Anger, who quickly passed it to cornerback C.J. Goodwin, hoping to catch the Falcons off guard and pick up some extra yards. Unfortunately, the Falcons saw through the trick. Rookie defensive tackle Rook Orhororo stepped in, reading the play perfectly and almost intercepting the ball. Thankfully for Dallas, he didn't hold on to it, but the play still ended in a turnover, giving the Falcons possession and leaving Cowboys fans scratching their heads. McCarthy's intentions were clear. He wanted to get creative, break up the predictable rhythm, and keep the offense alive. But the execution, not so much. The choice of players for this play left some fans wondering if it was really the best decision. While C.J. Goodwin is solid in his role, fans are questioning why McCarthy didn't use one of the team's top receivers, someone like C.D. Lamb, who could have had a better chance at outmaneuvering the defense and making the play successful. After this failed trick play, questions about McCarthy's play calling are growing louder. When you're in a close game and looking to make a big impact, choosing a player like Lamb might have given Dallas the edge. Lamb's agility, hands, and experience could have made all the difference here. Sure, Goodwin is known for his special teams prowess, but when the game's on the line, fans want to see the best players in critical situations. McCarthy's choice suggests he's still trying to find the right balance between risk-taking and sound decision-making. There's nothing wrong with attempting a bold play, especially when the offense needs a spark. But choosing the right personnel is critical. If you're going to try a risky move, you want your most reliable playmakers out there to increase your odds of success. This game against the Falcons isn't the only time we've seen the Cowboys struggle on offense. Despite having talent in the backfield and on the receiving end, they've had a tough time establishing consistent momentum. Dallas brought in running back Dalvin Cook, and fans were excited to see him take the field, but it's Rico Dowdle who's still getting the majority of touches. Cook is known for his explosive plays, and he could be the missing piece that helps this offense find its groove. But until he gets more reps, we're seeing the Cowboys rely heavily on Dowdle. Dowdle's been solid, but fans are eager to see how Cook could add a new dynamic to the run game. If McCarthy and the coaching staff can incorporate Cook effectively, they could give Prescott a better chance at spreading the field and getting the passing game going. Cowboys Nation, it's been a season full of ups and downs, and we're only halfway through. The team is clearly trying to adapt and push forward, but these bold choices aren't always panning out. It's great to see McCarthy willing to take risks, but there's a fine line between bold and reckless. That 4th-and-2 trick play could have worked, but the missed execution and personnel choice just added to the Cowboys' ongoing frustrations. This play underscores a bigger issue for Dallas, the need for reliable execution in key moments. The talent is there, but the team hasn't quite found the rhythm or consistency to keep drives alive and put points on the board. And with the playoffs looming closer, they'll need to figure out how to turn things around fast. As we look ahead, it's clear that Dallas has some tough decisions to make. McCarthy needs to find a way to spark the offense without putting the team in risky situations that can backfire. Whether it's getting Dalvin Cook more involved or finding creative but effective ways to use their receivers, Dallas needs a game plan that combines boldness with smarter choices. The Cowboys have shown flashes of brilliance this season, but those moments are few and far between. Fans want to see the team build a cohesive strategy that uses all the talent they've assembled in a way that gives them the best shot at winning. The playoffs are still within reach, but the margin for error is razor-thin. Now, Cowboys Nation, it's your turn. With the trade deadline approaching, what moves would you like to see Dallas make? Is there a specific player or position you think could turn things around? And with Prescott and Lamb potentially out, what are your thoughts on the team's chances moving forward? Leave your comments below, and let's get a discussion going. If you liked this deep dive into the Cowboys' current situation, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth Cowboys coverage. Stay tuned as we keep you updated on any potential trades and everything else happening in Cowboys Nation. Thanks for watching.